Hey, my name is Gert. Welcome to the explanatory video of Camper Huren in Spanje, of our latest acquisition, which is the McLouis Menfys 5 Max, also called Blondie. It's for 4 persons. Let's start off with the driver's seat. It's easy going. It's almost like your own car at home. Nothing weird going on. There's a few things that I may want to explain, which is this one. It's the seat going up and down like this, to whatever your preference is, like this. And I should explain the handbrake, which goes down like this and up like this. But when it's up, you can't properly swivel the swivel seat, so you need to make some adjustments. Just put this thing down, turn the seat, and then get this thing back up again. For privacy, we have this one coming up like this, and we have the side windows, which is easy going like this, but it's fragile stuff, so make sure you don't force it too much. Better to do with 2 hands than with only one. We put this little thing in there, and then it goes all the way back again, back towards the original position. And that's pretty much it. It's easy going. We built in a nice radio, which is an Android thing, which enables you to see pretty much anything, see and hear pretty much anything you'd like to hear and see. Okay, let's move on. On the right hand side of this vehicle, there's not too much going on. Let me just show you the most important things. Right there with the manuals in it. You may need them, but you'll probably end up calling me before that time if you need any help with the things that are going on inside the vehicle. This door swings open like this. Here you have the entrance. Oh, a step comes out like that, and the step goes in like that with that very same button. There's a mosquito net. It closes like this. Make sure that on the way back that these things fold in nicely where they're supposed to go. This is a rails that supports this table. If you want to take it out, you can actually put it here to have your breakfast outside if you didn't bring one of my tables. Then we shouldn't forget one important thing, which is the gray water. This all the way down here. This is the thing that you need to pull out if you want to dump the gray water, and push it back in again as soon as you're done dumping the gray water. And that's about it on this end of on this side of the vehicle. At the rear end of the Blondie, we're going to explain the following. Our doors obviously open like this, old school. This is an extra button for you to be able to open the door even wider if you want to. Now on this side, this normally cannot be done because later on we'll mount a bike rack here, and with the bikes on it's going to be impossible, so don't even try it. But until that time, you can open the door pushing up this button just a little wider. Okay, then we go to the windows. Press these 3 buttons, the red ones, to open them. Don't forget to actually press them, and open the windows like this. Make sure they stay open, adjusting these slightly, don't overdo it, and release them like this to close the window again. If you want to put them on the ventilation, it's going to be this one, and all the way closed is this one. So there's actually 2 positions. And obviously there's mosquiteros and closing, like keeping the light out or anything in between, whatever you want, on all windows of the vehicle. It's very nice and comfortable. Then we get to the part of the gas bottles. The gas bottle is a classic Spanish one. It's this one by Repsol. So if you need to change it, just go to the gas station and change it. Now, when do you want to change it? Only when it's empty, obviously. If it's empty, you want to lift up this black ring here. First close it with this one. Then you lift this ring up and it pops off like this. Now, to get it back on is just slightly tricky. You're going to have to push this thing up again. Make sure it's all the way down like this. Only then start pushing it down again like this. It has a little click, and then it'll be on again, and then you open up the valve again to make the gas go out. That's it. It's not now there, but in the future, on the right hand side, on this side, there's going to be an extra bottle for you to be able to change and never be stuck without any gas on board. Okay, then we get to the canasta, whatever that's called in English. That's this one, an extra, just in case, a tool set if you need it. There's the hose to fill up the tank with water. This one adapts to different kinds of roscas, threads, on the side of the faucet. Make sure you don't lose them. Try not to lose them. This is in case you have a puncture. You normally won't use it, but just in case. And this is your electricity cables to be able to connect the vehicle to 220. It'll always fit. Either it's a 220, the normal one you find at home, or it's going to be the Euro connection, which is this one, which is also 220, but just a different configuration. Okay, I'll get back to the electricity later. And that's about it on this end of the vehicle. This side of the vehicle, I had the following to explain to you. It's first of all is the water, which is easy going. You obviously need the key to open the tap. Do it counterclockwise, and this one counterclockwise. Then you put in the hose like this, and on the other side you obviously connect it to the faucet, and you fill up. When is it full? When it's overflowing. That's easy as that. When the water comes out through this one here, you actually get out the hose and close it again, and off you go again. So that's the water. Then we get to the cassette. Pretty important thing for these vehicles. Cassette is the black water, right? The gray water is the other one. This is the black water. Here one. This is the cassette. If you lift up this little thing here, if it doesn't want to come out, then make sure that you've closed the tapa, the lid of the use of the toilet. Make sure that it's closed. Only then you can take out this cassette. Don't force it because you'll break it. Take this one out. Open it like this and empty it. Empty it at the designated spot, right? In Spain it's called WC Químico. Only at this designated place you can actually dump the black water. Make sure you press this button so air comes in, so it doesn't salpicar. I don't know what that is in English. To make sure it doesn't do ploop, ploop, ploop. That one. Then empty it all the way. Put in some water again. There's usually a hose at the same spot. Then rinse it, shovel it again, rinse it again, and repeat it a few times until you're very sure that all the contents has actually gone out as it should. Then, oh, not this one. Then put in a sachet of the chemicals. This one, only one with plastic and all. It nicely dissolves. Put it in, dump it in here, or put it into the toilet. Whatever you want. It'll obviously end up in the very same place. And then add a little bit of water on top of that to make sure the sachet is actually diluted as the way it should, like this. Then empty, close that one again and put it back in where it came from. That's about it. This one goes here, and then you close it, and then again you're ready to do some serious traveling. Doorgaan. This is the hot air and cold air going in. It's for the heating. There's nothing going on here except it can be hot, so try not to touch it. But there's another thing going on. There's a switch here just behind this window, meaning that if this window is open, it'll shut off the whole warm water and the heating system for safety purpose, because this one can actually heat up this part of the window. So make sure it's actually closed, otherwise there's no heating and no hot water. This is the electricity bit. If you want to hook up the vehicle to 220, this one obviously goes in here. This one switches up, slides up. You put in this one in here. It has a little click. Then you go towards your socket on the other side with either this one or with that one. Make sure that you lift this one. There's a small button here. Make sure that you lift it when pulling it out, because that's the security that doesn't let the cable pop out if you don't want it to. That's about it. Electricity wise, the 220. Okay, then we get to the diesel part. I'm handing out the vehicle to you full of diesel. Make sure you get it back to me full of diesel with this one here, and this one as well full, which is the AdBlue tank. Now this is a 15-liter tank that lasts about 4,000 kilometers. So there's a little use of it, but make sure that you fill it up when you bring it back to me. And that's about it. From this angle here, I'm going to explain the fridge to you, the freezer. This one, you press it once and press it again. Oh, sorry, not that one. This one, you press it to be able to adjust the cold. This is colder and this is not as cold. And you confirm pressing that one. That's about it. If ever you want to turn it all the way off, then it's this one. Keep on pressing it, it'll turn off. If you want to turn it on, keep on pressing it and it'll turn on automatically. This actually opens from two ways. This one and the other one is here. And it actually has a freezer inside, which is this one. Then we get to the gas stove. Easy does it. As you've come to know it from your whatever home appliances you have, you press this one first. With this one, you have a little chispa, little spark to spark the whole thing up, and then you turn it off like this. Make sure that if you put it on low flame, not to close this one because it'll shatter this one, and you don't want that. This is obviously hot and cold water, and here's our little kitchen equipment. Comes with eating utensils, with a bit of spoons, cups, plates, and pans and pots down here. That'll be we'll actually add a few more to that collection over there. Then I need to explain to you about this one. This is a 220 socket. It's only working if you're actually plugged into the electricity from the outside. This one doesn't run on the battery. And you find the light switches sometimes with the proper switch, and like this one here up here, you may touch it on the which is not working right now. You press it on the center, and then it'll actually turn on. These are also dimmer lights, right? So if you keep on pressing them, they'll go up and down. You see, like this, gradually goes down in intensity. Okay. There's one other thing I should show you, which goes down here. Like I said, here in that socket you only have 220 when you're actually plugged in, but here you do have 20 when you're not even plugged in. You switch it on like this, and you plug in whatever appliance you want over there. It also has 2 USB ports. This is a maximum of 300 watts, okay? So you can't boil water, and you can't use your hair dryer, because it's anything over 300 watt, you can't use it on this one. It's limited in power. Don't forget to switch it off if you're not using it any longer. All right, that's about it. So here we are for the explanation of 2 important things, which is one, heating and hot water, and the other one is the electricity system. And we'll turn out this one like this, turns on the whole electricity system. This one turns on the lights, the internal lights, and this one is one external light, which is just under the awning. Obviously with this one off, you can't switch the lights on. This one, the same thing. This is your the pump for the water. Without this one, you have no water pressure. So if you want to take a shower, wash your hands or whatever, you first need to remember that you need to turn on the pump. Also for the cassette, which is the toilet. Then we have a multi-button here, which is the batteries first. This is a 12.6 voltage of the battery of the car, of the Fiat Ducato. Press it again and we'll see the voltage of the battery of the living quarters, which is 13.5. This one is also continuously charged by a solar panel on the roof, so it's going to be hard to deplete the battery. Then we get to the water. This is the clean water. As you see, it's a clean tank, blue water with the entrance at the top. That's at 100% as it is now. And then this one gives you the contents of the gray water tank. That's a red one, and the water is coming out as you see down there. Both tanks have pretty much the same size. So in any normal case, with one empty, one is full, the other one's going to be empty, and the other way around. If you want to turn this whole thing off, then switch it off like this. Obviously, this doesn't affect the battery, right? Of the fridge, I should say. And the fridge is not on this system, because otherwise you would turn it off without knowing. Then we go to the heating. The heating is on 0 right now. There's 2 buttons here, which one is going around like this, and this is actually the thermostat. So this one indicates what's going on. It's now on 0. If we turn it down, it's going to be on heating, just heating, and this one is going to be heating of the living quarters and the hot water. It starts doing the hot water now as the light comes on. Then if you turn this one up, it's going to get to only hot water without heating, and you can choose between 40 degrees and Celsius, that is, and 60 degrees Celsius. Now the orange light has now come on, which means that it's now actually heating the water. In 20 minutes it'll be ready, and this light will turn off. If you put it down on this position, that's the only time that this one actually has any function. You can regulate the temperature, dialing this one to whatever temperature you'd like it to be. And that's about it. This one gives an error code if something's happening, meaning that if you put it on this one and it's like flashing 3 times, for example, that means that you've left the window open, which is in the other part of the videos that's explained how that works. But then close the window and make sure the switch actually makes a contact as it should. Then that's about it. We turn it off, and then we're ready to get going. Here we're getting to the nice part, one of the nice parts of this vehicle, which is the bathroom and the shower. Let's go in. This is the toilet. Obviously, before use you open it, and before use you open this lid. Now this is the lid that enables or disables the cassette to be taken out. Okay, so if you have this lid open, you cannot take out a cassette, if only if it's closed. But before use, obviously you open this one. After use, you press this button to flush it. Make sure it's flushed properly. Let all the water drain out, and only then you close it. Make sure there's no water accumulating on top of the lid, because as you're driving, this water will gradually go over the cassette and it'll be a big mess. But that's about it. Make sure that you obviously empty the cassette on time. Now there's one indicator which is called the ojímetro in Spanish, which means just looking at it, you'll see how close it is to the very top of it. But the other one, the other indicator is back here. There's a green light here. If it's orange, then it actually means this one here. This one will turn orange if this the cassette is full and it's time to actually change it. Okay, that's as far as the toilet goes. That's pretty much clear, I think. Then showering is obviously this one with the faucet here, both hot and cold water. This is for washing your hands. Now, if you want to in summer, you can actually take this hose and make it go out, and then have you shower outside if you want to. But if not, you do it in here. Now there's hooks here where there used to be a curtain hanging here, but it's pretty much impossible to use because it'll turn you into a mummy with this cloth sticking to you as you're wet. So we're not going to use that one, but that means that this water that's going down here will maybe draining into the rest of the vehicle. So make sure that you put a towel over this thing here or underneath here, so that this water doesn't drain into the rest of the vehicle. And that's about it as far as the shower and the toilet goes. So explaining how what is that thing called? The awning goes out with this little swivel here. We'll put it in here and turn it. Make sure that it's in line with that little button over there, not all the way down, because that's not going very smoothly. So make it go out like this. I need a little assistant in this case, because if you go over 1 meter of taking out this thing, then obviously it's going to need some support. Without the support, taking it all the way out, you may break the whole thing and it'll end up on the floor. You don't want it to be there. That's about it. Now we'll get back to getting the support underneath. Oh, this one goes like this. This one goes up. This one drops down, and you just make sure you make this one go up and support the whole thing. Same thing here with this leg on the left hand side. Drop it like this. Put up this thing to block it, and that's it. In the other video, I'll explain about how details about this one and this one in the close-up. You'll see it later. All right, that's about it. Just a small video to explain these little mechanisms here. This is a pressure thing. You press it this way and it comes loose, leaving this one behind. Then you take it down like this. If you drop it, it'll automatically go down, and they will lift up this one to block the whole thing. On the way back, obviously we do the opposite. This one goes down again. We make it go up like this. We fold this one back to where it's supposed to go. It's important to make sure that this thing is not here, but folded up like this. Only then we can push this one back and make sure it goes behind that little thing over there, like this, and then it stays where it should go. And then obviously we use this little pole here to wind up this thing again back to its original position. So after having watched these videos, I hope that you understood everything. I hope I was able to explain it to you properly. But maybe some things pop up that were not in the video, or anything else happens, or you've plainly forgotten. No worries, just give me a call. I'm available for you 24/7 to give you assistance as you are on the road. That's actually my job. I need to make sure that my clients are literally happy campers. All right. I also hope that this video has gotten you in the mood to go out there and have your little motorhome adventure. I'm sure you're gonna like it. Everybody does, and I'm very sure that you will too. But in case anything happens, make sure you know that you can always call me at to help you out. Okay, I wish you a very safe journey and a very enjoyable one. Okay.